Hello everybody, it's Sue Sagaris here again with part 4 of our Bridges series, how to move from being reactive to actually relating in our relationships. And I've been doing a fair bit of self-searching and research and observation in the last couple of weeks in order to bring together this series into the fourth piece, which is about protecting ourselves. When we decide to go down the path of making ourselves more open, creating more openings, more vulnerability in our interactions, as I said before, we need to be careful about the context that we choose to do that in. It can be immensely rewarding and liberating when we open well with the right container, with the right holding. And sometimes that can be just other people. Sometimes it could be a lovely space that we create for ourselves to open up to our true selves and to really access what it is that we're really needing in that moment. And once we satisfy that need, the tendency to be reactive when we're dealing with our significant other or any other relationship then diminishes, okay? Because we already have adequate resource. This reactivity tends to happen from a place of being depleted. And so it's really important as we go out in the world, and we may not be always able to structure the context the way we would like it, is that we need to be able to protect ourselves energetically. So whether you're at a networking event or a party or a shopping mall or wherever, you're around people that you may not necessarily have personally chosen to be with, but here we all are sharing a space and we need to interact. So basically there are 3 ways I've found that work really well if we can remember to do them in order to protect our energetic field. So the first thing is intending. Now, this is great for situations where you already know that you're going to be going into a room with, say, 40 people or 30 people, however many, and it's probably going to be a business-orientated meeting, let's say. So we might have an intention as to how we want to be energetically with ourselves. So I might have an intention today. I enter this field with the intention of being clear, clean, and warm. So clear, clean, and warm becomes like a mantra that I have for myself as I'm holding my energy in those conversations. I can also visualize that I have almost an energetic container around me, and I can imagine that there's an electromagnetic field, which in fact there is, and it can extend all the way out into the room or all the way back close to my body. And if I want to keep safe, I can actually be clear, clean, and warm, and I can imagine my light close into me rather than feeling overly exuberant, a little bit needy for approval, and throwing my light all over the place, and thereby not noticing when it's actually getting dimmer at the source. And believe me, I've been through many times where I've done that to myself, and I'm sure many of you have as well. So intending, visualizing our energetic container coming in a little closer, and visualizing its warmth and its vibrancy, giving to ourselves first. The third part is remembering. So remembering who we are, remembering that I'm okay and you're okay. And remembering who we are and that we're actually okay in our nature means that we don't need to prove anything. We don't need to grasp for anything. And so our interactions in those mixed environments can actually be simply spontaneous. And in that spontaneity, if something occurs that doesn't feel comfortable, it's more likely that you will notice that at the early stages, and then you can choose to preserve your energy. The second thing to do is preserving your energy with social distancing. You can move back physically. You can decide that it's time to go. You can notice that, the meal's being served, or someone over there that I'd like to introduce you to, or something else is happening. So you can create a distance when you notice that you don't really want any more of this particular energy that you're sharing. Another way of doing it is social distancing, where people ask you a question you might not want to spontaneously answer that question. You might want to chew it over a little bit first. You can also ask questions to the other. Asking questions to the other gives you time to process the quality of the interaction between the two. And finally, preserve your energy by being clear. So someone might be so enjoying your company that they would really like to book another conversation with you in 2 weeks' time or 1 week time, and we quickly have a look at our phone and we see, is there a space in the calendar? Let's lock it in. Well, I would invite you to remember your intention and to be clear, and to notice that actually not only do I have a fair bit on that week, and although there may be a little space, I'm not even quite clear why we're having this meeting. So you can actually ask for clarity. You can say, look, it sounds like a nice idea to catch up. What do you think might be the main priority for that meeting? Let's be clear about that. Perhaps it's really just something that you could send through in an email, or perhaps it's something that you would really like to do, but you actually need to spend more time on that. So you might want to book a longer time together, or you might want to book a casual activity on a weekend. So preserving our energy by continually returning to our own center and the reason why we chose to attend or be in this container in the first place. And let's not get diverted from that. Finally, we need to allow a lot more space in our lives, and we all need to do this. Everybody seems to be rushing. I think that particularly for people like myself who are quite empaths and giving and energetically sensitive, it's even more important that we insist on what we need, to the point of sometimes having to be a bit unreasonable. It's all very well to have a reputation of being a team player, but if you look around your team and you notice that maybe not everyone else is pulling their weight, it's a good time to reevaluate your own commitment. And if you decide that it's actually not working, you can make your own decisions about when and how you would like to re-engage in that group. And there are many people out there taking great care of themselves, being totally unreasonable, and actually being quite full of energy and quite healthy, and they've still got a lot of friends and a lot of people love them. So you don't need to be a people pleaser in order to have success, to have great connections, and to really enjoy yourself. By saying all that, I'm not advocating being completely selfish and self-centered. I'm really advocating that people who are energetically sensitive need to be able to define their boundaries. And if you'd like to have a bit more of a boundary conversation with me, please reach out, direct message me, and we can make a time to chat. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.